Good morning, everybody. My name is Barry Schwartz. This is the Search Buzz video recap. Today is Friday, December 18th. And this is the search news we covered over at the Search Engine Roundtable at SEOroundtable.com. Big stuff this week. One, Google confirmed, I believe on Wednesday, that the core update has finished rolling out. And then the day later, it seems like Google pushed out another update. I'm calling it the 8th day update. Google said the structured data testing tool that they were going to deprecate sometime this year or next year is going to stick around, but they're going to move it to schema.org and off the Google property. And Google's testing a new, unusual, dynamically loading snippet where you mouse over a certain icon or the head or the snippet itself, and either images expand below it or text expands below it. Plus much, much more. So stay tuned. Okay, so as you can see, it snowed yesterday. Got a lot of snow, but things have not cooled down. First, like I said, the Google December core update is complete. Danny Sullivan confirmed, I believe on Wednesday at around 1 p.m. that the core update has complete. That was 13 days or so of the Google core update rolling out, which is not unusual. It's usually what happens in terms of core updates rolling out. And Danny Sullivan said December 2020 core update is now complete. We saw, like I said, it looked like we saw two spikes, one on the 4th. Officially started rolling on the 3rd. We saw a spike on the 4th and a spike on the 10th. And then nothing. But again, it was finished rolling out as of Wednesday, December 16th. But then what we noticed also was that it looks like my site, the Search Engine Roundtable, recovered. I mentioned this, I think, briefly, that it looked like it was recovering, but it's been 2 weeks. And I've been tracking the data both on the weekends and on the weekdays. And with news sites, when I don't write, it's easier to see what type of volatility there are, what type of ranking changes there are week over week. And there seems, at least on the weekends, to be like 150% increase in organic search traffic from Google specifically. So 150% increase in my traffic. During the weeks, during the weekdays, depending on spikes and stuff like that, articles spike constantly, even when I was hit by the May core update. It still seems to be anywhere up to from 50% to over 150% increases in my organic traffic. Hopefully that sticks. But again, we were hit by the May core update. We saw a significant drop in organic Google traffic, and it looks like we recovered. And I did absolutely nothing. I intentionally did nothing with the plan of doing something after the next core update if nothing fixed. I was just curious to see if I did nothing, what would happen. The reason is because I think I'm on that line of just have a certain amount of authority where I could, like, my content quality might go ahead and be like, oh, it's not good enough, but my other authority factors might be pushing me over the edge. And I think I just skipped over that edge again, and now I'm ranking okay in Google search as opposed to May thought I was not. I just made it below that line. But we'll see, and we'll see for the next update. I do think I want to plan on doing a redesign and making some significant changes to the site. I already have the redesign designed from years ago. I just never implemented it, and I specifically held back because I wanted to keep things the same, thinking there'll be another core update after the May core update within 3 months or so. It took 7 months, but I'm glad I waited, and now we will see what happens. And like I said, it's not done yet. As you can see, we had some bad weather yesterday. But it looks like that Google core update is not done, or maybe it is done and there's something new that came out. I'm calling it the 8th day update. Some significant fluctuations both in terms of chatter in the SEO community as well as in terms of the tracking tools. Tools like SEMrush, sensor trackers, Rank Ranger, AccuRanker, Cognitive SEO, I think even Moz, they're all showing significant weather changes and fluctuations in the search results, as well as SEOs are saying their sites have been impacted. I'm not sure if it's a continuation of the core update. Google said it was done rolling out on Wednesday, and then after that, we saw maybe hours later or a day later, we saw fluctuations, and it seemed to have picked up yesterday. So maybe there's something brand new. I'm calling it the 8th day update because today is the 8th day of Hanukkah, the last day of Hanukkah. Got my lava lamp over there. The menorahs, the candles are over there, which you can't see. But in any event, I do believe there was some update again, and we will see if Google has anything to comment on that. Okay, so that's it with updates for now. Google's always updating, as you know, but it looks like good news for those of us who are into structured data because several months ago, I think in July, Google said they're going to deprecate, meaning get rid of the Google structured data testing tool, and SEOs were not happy. Google said, oh, we took your feedback. We're going to not get rid of it. We're just going to go ahead and move it off of Google's property and move it onto schema.org, which technically Google runs anyway. It's going to remove most of rich results stuff. Google has a rich results testing tool, but it'll keep all the syntax checking and all that stuff around structured data checking and schema. So Google's going to move it. It didn't move it yet. It will move it. Not sure exactly when, but it will be moved. So that's good. It's not going to go away. Talking about going away, Google Search Console temporarily has removed or disabled the ability to do validation, issue validation. So you could, in coverage report, you click on validate this fix. So if you make a fix to, let's say, a problem with crawling or whatever, you could tell Google, and Google will process that. You could technically still do it. I don't think anything works. I did it 2 days ago. It still says started. Nothing happened with it, but Google has a little notice at the top saying issue validation is temporarily disabled due to upcoming changes in this report. So something new is coming out, which is exciting, but that tool, just like the request indexing tool, as of this morning still, both are not enabled and not working. Google is testing displaying images within the snippets on dynamic load. So you hover your mouse over or you click on this little image icon, and Google's going to actually dynamically load images below that snippet, which is cool. And Google's also testing the ability to expand meta descriptions or descriptions in the snippets by clicking on that icon as well, a little text icon. It will double the amount of text for that snippet, which is very interesting as well. And I'll show you screenshots of both, or have you showed screenshots of both. Google's also testing a new look for top stories in like this multi-grid layout with a big story at the top and sub-stories below. Here's a screenshot of that as well. Bing is testing embossed look for their snippets as you mouse over the snippet. So it kind of like pulls the snippet out of the search results, giving it some type of border effect, which is pretty cute. I'll show you a screenshot of that as well. And Bing Webmaster Tools announced that they have integrated Microsoft Clarity into Bing Webmaster Tools. And the integration is pretty simple. It just lets you kind of set up a Microsoft Clarity account. Microsoft Clarity is like a new analytics and heat map type of solution for web analytics for your website. And you can go to Bing Webmaster Tools, click on it, and actually integrate or set up Microsoft Clarity within Bing Webmaster Tools. Bing has promised more integration with Clarity in Bing Webmaster Tools, so that should be cool to see as it comes out. Google My Business seems to have launched a feature for call history, showing you answered and missed calls. I don't see it yet. I think it's a beta, but that's pretty cool to see that. And I knew this was coming out. Google's kind of discussed it a while ago, and it seems like people are now seeing it. Google Maps is adding to your local listing. If you scroll down in the local panel in Google Maps, it'll show you web results related to your business. I think I've seen that before, but it seems to be live fully right now, which is cool. Google My Business has a new video maker for small businesses. So if you want to make a video, it basically makes like a 1-minute video about your business, pulling in local data as well as reviews and information that you give it, and it makes this video. I personally would not post this video on my website, but I put up an example for you if you want to check it out. Google Ads is prohibiting the ability to show ads for what's called sugar dating, or basically compensated dating, or compensated sexual acts, which seems ridiculous. They didn't have this before, but I get also online brides, which I don't know if that's ridiculous. I guess people still do that, but I guess it's ridiculous. I don't know, but Google has all these ads around compensated dating and sugar dating and sexual acts for money, which seems like prostitution. I thought that would be disabled already, but again, you can't find any ads for that. Although I think in Bing ads, Microsoft Bing, you can find ads for mail order brides, but you can't right now in Google Ads, which is pretty cool. The big business news this week is that Google was slapped with not 1, not 2, but 3 total massive lawsuits from antitrust perspective, specifically from multiple states. I think one lawsuit was like 30 states. One a week or two ago was like all the 50 states, and another lawsuit was 10 states. And some of them were actually targeting certain advertising practices, collusion with Facebook and so forth. It's pretty significant. I linked to most of the coverage on this. I hate covering legal stuff, but this is going to be big news. And it seems like, according to some people, that Google is screwed. They might have to break up. But this won't happen for years and years, and I'm sure this will be in courts, and lots of lawyers will make lots of money. Also, this week, the Google holiday decorations are live. Obviously, the Chanukah decorations went live last week, but now we have the Christmas and Kwanzaa decorations. All you got to do is search for Christmas and Kwanzaa to see it. And also, industry news, Bill Slawski, who's SEO by the Sea, he's been with us since before SEO was named SEO. He had a medical issue. He said it was a brain stroke, which Didn't impair him mentally, thank God, but he seems to be having some motor functional issues with his right side, and he's in recovery now. But the great news is he could fully read and understand and act almost pretty normally, like Bill, based on what I'm seeing with his tweets and so forth. So he seems totally normal, but I created a website for him to look at with the help of the SEO community. You go to billslawski.com. You'll go ahead and click on post a story, and that story will go into a queue. I'll have to approve the story, but once it goes in the queue, a new story that's in the queue will be posted daily. So you add a story, it will go in the queue, and every morning a new story will be posted from that available queue. This way, us, the SEO community, has to hear about a new story about Bill every single day, as well as Bill wakes up to something new about some SEO that he has helped over the years. So Bill, get well soon. We look forward to you continuing to teach us. You are a professor. You are a mentor. You are an educator. Thank you so much for everything you've done. Get well soon. We'll speak to you soon, hopefully at a nearby conference after COVID's over. Any event, thank you so much for listening to the Search Buzz video recap. My name again is Barry Schwartz. This is the search news we covered over at the Search Engine Roundtable, SEOroundtable.com over the past week. Again, today is Friday, December 18th. Everyone have a great weekend, and I'll see you guys next. Goodbye.